This year, we celebrate the strength, determination, and defiance of the courageous citizens who fought for a world where we could all live as equals. During the 1960s, civil rights activists and students from around the nation came together to challenge segregation in the South. On September 15, 1963, a Sunday morning, 4 African-American girls, Carole Robertson, Addie Mae Collins, Cynthia Wesley, and Denise McNair, were killed when a bomb planted by the Ku Klux Klan exploded at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama. The bombing was a defining moment in the civil rights movement. Less than a year later, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed. In 1976, on Chicago's West Side, a group of parents were initiating a small but important change of their own. 2 years earlier, St. Mary's Center for Learning began an after-school program. When St. Mary's closed, these parents came together to save their children's program. 13 years after the bombing, the lost lives of 4 girls still resonated strongly with families in Chicago. The idea to name this small new organization in memory of those 4 girls was formed. Maria Whelan, founding executive director, approached Mrs. Alpha A. Robertson, Carole's mother, about naming the organization in memory of the 4 girls.
Not carefully with my children, but they agreed. And we told it would be all right. I thought it was something that he would have appreciated also. And that's how he got the name. Carole Robertson said she talked to me several times and sent me a lot of information, things that had been going on that over at St. Mary's, over at St. Mary's, and her plans for the future. And listening to Maria, you can envision great things happening anyway. And she says that I took a leap of faith. It's been well justified because you all have done wonderful things. She was a beautiful child in her spirit and all. She was smart. She played in the band. She was a very, very good Girl Scout, a good Sunday school worker and church worker. She was a member of was about to become a member of the teenage group of Jack and Jill. That's an organization that we had for the young children too. At that time, there were not too many facilities for the young folks, and this organization had done wonderful things with her, and she was a member of that. She was active, and she had taken dance lessons, music lessons, and all of that. She was a typical good child. Well, it means many, many good things. I guess it's kind of hard to express because people who do not see the work here, people who do not know what's going on, have a tendency when you tell them about it not to believe. But seeing is believing, because you all are just, you've amazed me, the cooperation between the staff, the parents, and the children. The children seem to just love it. And that awards banquet kind of brings that out, the idea of what you're trying to do. Because each child receives an award. If it's just for being neat or diligent or whatever their best trait is, they get an award for that, and it makes the children feel good too.
Center affects people in general. Whenever you bring up the Birmingham church bombing. It really, I don't think people understand it. It just affected a whole lot of people. It was very widespread. People still remember, just like they remember where they were when Kennedy was shot and stuff like that. I mean, it was really something that affected just about everybody that I know. And so if you can imagine, and I'm getting a little emotional, but if you can imagine, how that affects people who aren't even, related, then you can understand the pain. Excuse me. So it's still today very painful. That was an aunt that I didn't know that was taken from me. And so it's difficult, but, and sometimes I used to ask myself, well, why did that have to happen to her? But when you come to the center and you see what has come from that, and you have to believe, even when it hits home, when it hits your own family, you have to believe that everything happens for a reason. And so when I come here and I see what has grown from that, then that's when I know it was for a reason, and you can't question it, and you have to appreciate, it just makes me love Carole and her memory that much more because of what she has allowed to happen. And so, it's children that have come for years and years and still come back and talk about how the center has made a difference in their life and what it's done for them. And so it is a very great blessing. I mean, you have to see it that way, and it's painful, but it's a blessing. It's a real blessing. So.